Given that I've been working with college students for almost 20 years, people often ask me how, if at all, they have changed over that time. The truth is, much like observing a child grow taller, when you see them every day, the evolution is subtle, less perceptible than it may be to those who encounter them rarely. Nonetheless, eventually certain generational distinctions do emerge, and many Gen Xers, my squad, and even millennials express frustration with the perceived shortcomings of Gen Zers and beyond. Typically, the condemnations include lack of resiliency, emotional fragility, and aversion to difficult work. Whether these perceptions are accurate is actually a hotly contested topic among psychologists and sociologists. And even if they are correct, perhaps they are offset by other, more positive qualities. Regardless of the empirical reality, as educators or employers, we can either decry the emergence of a snowflake generation, or we can adapt to the shifting dispositional needs of the times. Moshe in our parsha seems to offer us a model for adaptive education. In exhorting the priests to maintain high standards of ritual purity, practice preserved quite scrupulously to this day by members of that tribe, the Torah describes his message as Emor, saying, rather than the more common Vayidaber. Emor, the Talmud tells us, connotes a softer manner of speech, in contrast to the more assertive Vayidaber. The use of Emor in our context is surprising, given that Moshe is warning them to avoid certain common behaviors, such as attending funerals or marrying women prohibited specifically to them, which we might imagine would demand stronger verbiage. Rav Moshe Feinstein resolves this textual anomaly with a message that is vital to any educator in every succeeding generation. In addition to their roles as functionaries in the temple, members of the priestly class also served as educators and spiritual mentors to the nation at large. As such, they need to learn how to communicate effectively with their co-religionists, including those younger or less spiritually motivated. In sharing his own messages with the priests through an Emor prism, Moshe was modeling for them the gentle, compassionate style they would need to employ to be successful in their own educational roles. Students today might indeed struggle with reduced attention spans and be more sensitive to critique. Rather than absolve educators of the responsibility to reach them, however, these limitations actually compel more of those who hope to impact young people. If today's pedagogical standards require a softer or more creative approach, then it is incumbent upon those executing the mission to achieve outstanding educational outcomes while employing contemporary messaging. Just as some instructors lament today, Jewish history's greatest teacher, Moshe, also dealt with an impetuous and disagreeable generation during his own lifetime. Think golden calf, complaints about the manna, alarmist spies, and more. Yet he himself demonstrated the power of Emor, that soft and patient tone, to reach even the most challenging students among the Jewish nation. A flourishing Jewish future demands that we find our own Emor voice as well. Shabbat Shalom.